Hello everyone, this is part 1 of What If Naruto Was a Blacksmith. This story is made by N1 in Number 3, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. An average morning, sun shining, people opening their shops, the sounds of a working forge. Inside, pieces of metal scattered across the floor, swords and various weapons hung on the wall. A boy was working, hammering a piece of metal he just took out of the fire. He had short brown hair, brown eyes, tan skin. He wore a navy blue shirt, black pants and black boots. Maiku. 1. A man shouted from deeper inside the forge. Hi to-san. He shouted back. A man walked in, he had short gray hair, black eyes. He had on a white gi. I just wake up and I find you working on your sword already. Such dedication for an 11-year-old. The man chuckled as he noticed the rings around his son's eyes. I just want to finish it. Maiku said, a hint of excitement in his voice as the thought of completing his project entered his mind. He was about to strike the metal again when his hand was stopped. I'll finish, go and eat. He smiled at his son who ran out of the shop. He picked up an overturned piece of paper, noticing it was his son's designs for the sword. The kid is good, real good. He set the designs down and went to work. There he is, get him. A crowd of people shouted. Not again, cried a boy with blonde hair, blue eyes and unusual markings on his face. He ran for his life. What the hell? He thought before he sped. He sat up and looked around. He had fallen outside a weapon shop, and the crowd quickly caught up to him. One of them, a chunin, lashed out brandishing a kunai. It quickly closed the distance. Naruto closed his eyes waiting, only to hear a snap. Must be your lucky day, huh Naruto? Naruto opened his eyes, only to smile. Another couple seconds and I would have been Thanks Mikaru, too, said boy was now standing in front of Naruto, swinging a pipe he found earlier like a sword. He looked at the chunin whose wrist he had just broken with a hard hit before bashing him on the head. Don't thank me yet. We still gotta deal with these assholes. The mob started to circle the two. Maiku got into a awkward kenjutsu stance as Naruto picked up the kunai. This isn't good Maiku. Naruto said, fear in his voice. No Maiku sighed. Well, it's been a good 2 years knowing you. Maiku tightened his grip as the mob moved even closer, only to be stopped by 2 kunai being thrown in front of them. Maiku glanced to a nearby tree, finding a ninja with blonde hair. On his left he noticed a friend of his to-san's business partner. Behind him stood a girl with brown hair in buns. All of you leave now. The blonde ninja shouted, pulling out more weapons. It took them a minute and the appearance of Anbu to finally leave. Dumb bastards, Naruto muttered. Maiku nodded, dropping his pipe as he walked to the weapons shop. Hey old man, thanks for the help. No problem. But what were you doing in the middle of that anyway? Maiku narrowed his eyes. Helping a friend. Got a problem Tension. 3. Tension noticed the stern look and the use of his first name and decided to change his answer. Tenten was worried about you getting hurt. By now the girl had her arms around him, a mix of yelling at him and asking if he was okay. By now the blonde ninja was talking to Naruto. You okay kid? He asked. A little SCR from when I fell, but I'm fine Inoiki-san. Naruto rubbed his shin, clearing the blood. Why did you disappear like that to-san? Another blonde had appeared. I'm sorry Ino, but I had business to take care of. Inoiki said, moving to his daughter's side. What's the dobe doing here? Ino wondered why someone with no skills would be outside a weapons shop. Don't call me that, Naruto yelled, rage building. Ino. Inoiki scolded his daughter. Don't say that or I might let what's about to happen occur. What's the dobe gonna do? He's not Sasuke. Naruto has no SKS. Ino began laughing at Naruto. Inoiki sweat dropped. It's not Naruto I'm worried about. Where did that pipe go, damn it? Maiku shouted, mad at Ino. I just dropped it like 30 seconds ago, what the hell? Maiku-kun, calm down. Tenten said, trying to stop her enraged friend. We'll be leaving now, Inoki said, leaving with Ino following. Naruto, let's get some ramen. I skipped breakfast anyway. Now calm as the source of his anger had left. Ramen, Naruto screamed, running off leaving Miku to catch up. Later Ten-chan. He mumbled curses and left. Well, this was an interesting morning, wasn't it? Miku eat more of his ramen. I think almost King Ino was the best part. Would you have really ked her? Naruto asked, downing his fifth bowl. Maybe. I don't really know because Ten-chan stopped me. He said, finishing and putting money down on the counter, and waited for Naruto to finish. Then Ino is lucky your girlfriend was there, or she would be s. Naruto laughed to himself as he thought about how it would have happened. Yes, she is lucky that wait a minute. Miku smacked Naruto on the back of his head. She's not my girlfriend, not officially at least. I'm only 11 after all. Now's not the time for romance anarchy, it's time for ramen. He said, ordering a seventh bowl. Yeah, whatever. I think your blood is more broth than anything. Ayami laughed with the two boys. Now for serious business, Naruto, I want you to drop that act you put on at the academy tomorrow. What act? Naruto asked, earning another hit. Don't play dumb. You've been training with me for the 2 years you've known me. You're better than that. Miku sighed. Alright, I'll do it, just stop hitting me. Naruto rubbed the back of his head. Glad to hear it, now come on, you need a outfit change. Hey, what's wrong with this? Naruto asked as he looked over his clothes. Dude, orange. I could be blind and still hit you with a kunai because of how much you stand out. Miku grabbed Naruto's arm and dragged him to a clothing store. Put these on, he demanded. No friend of mine is going to be a pincushion. A minute later, Naruto came out wearing a white t-shirt. Over that was a navy blue sleeveless hoodie. He also had baggy black shorts and black ninja sandals. Is this better? Naruto said with a hint of sadness, missing his orange. Where's Naruto? I can't see him. Miku said. Yeah, that's a lot better. You're buying this stuff too. Miku handed Naruto more gear. Now go pay for it. Naruto did as he was told, knowing what would happen if Miku got mad. Now that this is taken care of, I gotta get back to work. I've been out too long anyway and I want to finish my sword. See you at the academy tomorrow. Man, what a day. Almost get beat, new clothes, and now Miku wants me to drop my act. Maybe it'll be better that way though. Naruto dropped his bag of clothes onto the ground. Hey Kyubi. What do you want, brat? The fox asked, angry. Should I do what Miku said and get serious? Naruto sat down at the table and began reading a scroll. You woke me up for that. Go away and let me sleep, ya stupid brat. And with that, Kyubi went back to sleep. I'll take that as a yes then. Naruto said, then went back to reading. Can't believe it's been 3 years since I met the fox. Flashback. A small boy ran down the street. He was followed closely by a group of angry villagers. They shouted at him, demon child, or fox brat, thus causing more people to join in chasing him. Finally they caught him, trapped in a end alley. The boy huddled in the corner, bruised, bleeding. The villagers finally finished throwing things and began beating him, only to be stopped by puffs of smoke. When cleared, several Anbu stood over the boy. They got rid of the mob, but someone managed to hit the boy in the head with a rock, knocking him unconscious. He awoke in a sewer. Come here, boy, boomed voice. The boy did as he was told, fearful about angering whoever said that. Soon he faced a large cage, behind which was a pair of red eyes. So this is my jailer. What a weak little thing. What are you? The boy asked, trying to control the shaking of his body with little success. The Kyubi, you dumb brat. Don't they teach you people anything? I attacked Konoha and ended up sealed inside you, much to my displeasure. Now, get out of my sight. He growled, cutting off the link with the boy. Hey Two-san, I'm back. Miku said, walking into the forge. Good. I just finished 5 minutes ago. A sword was tossed to Miku. It had a polished black sheath with a hammer striking and anvil emblem at the bottom. Miku unsheathed the blade and looked it over. The blade was black and polished, reflecting the light. A red blood grove ran down the blade. The handle was red and wrapped in dyed black shark skin. The normal opposite side of the blade was serrated, so he had to be careful not to hurt himself. It's just like my design, Miku said, putting it back in the sheath and placing the sword on his back. I don't have a name for it yet, sadly. That's fine. Go inside and rest. You're going back to the academy tomorrow. Maiku nodded and went inside up to his room to relax for the rest of the day. The classroom was empty, mostly. Most people were waiting outside. But there sat a blonde student, dressed in a black t-shirt, long black pants, and black boots, reading a scroll. The expression was one of annoyance. He looked at the back of the room to see someone sleeping. That idiot was up all night practicing his kenjutsu again. Naruto let out a sigh before tossing his scroll at the body on the floor. What the hell? Came a groggy response. The body sat up rubbing his head. Is that how you wake up your friends? Sorry, but your snoring was kind of annoying, Maiku. Maiku tossed the scroll back to Naruto. He faced forward again and began reading, only to have a blade at his end. There are better ways to wake someone up. Got it. He pressed the blade to Naruto's end. And I'm gonna tag you back for that. Hi Anarchy. Maiku gave Naruto a slight grin before sheathing his sword and taking a seat next his friend. You've been hanging around Ankone-chan too much, you know that. Maiku just laughed as people started filling in the seat. Minutes later Iruka walked in shouting for everyone to quiet down using his infamous giant head. I have no idea how he does that. Maiku said. Naruto nodded, showing he was also confused. Finally, Iruka sighed. Now I'll call names. Mikaru Yaiba. Yeah, came the response from the front row. Naruto Uzumaki. Iruka called. Here, said the blonde, not looking up from his work. After all the names were called, Iruka took everybody outside to practice taijutsu. Okay, Uzumaki and Uchiha, why don't you two go first? Both boys knew this wasn't a question and took stances. Naruto glances at Maiku, noticing his hard glare, yet his eyes showed a bit of enjoyment. He had wanted Naruto to spar with the Uchiha. And here we go. Time to let that mask fall. Maiku thought. Naruto, end this quickly. Don't show them too much. Though revealing everything can be very bad also. Naruto launched a punch at Sasuke's face, but it was easily caught. Sasuke had a grip on Naruto's wrist. Naruto spun his body left, swinging his left arm and delivering a backhand to the face of Sasuke, while at the same time freeing his hand. Everyone on the sidelines was shocked. Naruto had actually landed a blow on the Uchiha. And from the looks of it he's still got more. Iruka thought while Maiku wore a slight grin. What is that kid up to? Iruka caught Maiku's expression. Sasuke tried to get some space between himself and Naruto, but that was easier said than done. Sasuke would move and Naruto would just land a quick kick to his legs to stop him. How is the dobe this good? The fight continued. Naruto ducking under punches and blocking kicks. Whenever he saw an opening he landed a hit. Not very damaging at first, but after 5 minutes and several well-placed shots Sasuke's body began to feel the pain. Time to end this. Naruto blocked a punch with his left arm. He grabbed Sasuke's arm and pulled him closer, ramming his forearm into Sasuke's face. It was all done swiftly, and the boy was on the ground before he knew it. Winner Naruto. Iruka said, trying to overcome shock. Way to go, Naruto. Maiku said as Naruto walked back over to stand next to him. Perfectly executed moves. That actually felt really good. Oh look, he's bleeding a bit. Maiku noticed the blood on the ground. That's a bit. Maiku's sweat dropped. Only one person I know refers that much as a bit. Though Ankone-chan tends to try to get blood more after. Glad you didn't though. He patted his friend on the shoulder. Naruto looked at his arm. It was red. Oh whoops. Two figures swiftly approached Naruto and it got really loud. Naruto was now being scolded by two angry fangirls. Naruto, you hurt Sasuke, damn it. The pink one, who Maiku hated, took a swing at said blonde. Naruto quickly caught it. Save it for when we spar. You can beat me then, if you can actually land a hit. Naruto smirked at how angry the girl had gotten. And Ino, don't think I forgot about what you said yesterday. Ino tensed at the mention of her name. Anarchy didn't forget either. Oh look, I don't have a pipe today, but this will do. Maiku grinned, drawing his blade. Let's go Sakura. Ino tugged on her friend's arm and both rejoined the group. I just want to hit him, but my dad said not to mess with him. She looked over at the blood that had collected on the ground. I'm sure Naruto's friend wants to fight me after yesterday. She shuddered, remembering his outburst. That dobe got lucky. Sakura muttered, making her way to Sasuke. Come on Naruto, this is just beginning. From there Naruto showed his improvement in his ninjutsu and weapons, kenjutsu specifically because of his training with Miku. He showed some skill in genjutsu, but he wasn't great. Those two made quite an advancement. They kept their skills well hidden, but I'm glad now that the grades would improve. Iruka thought. Okay, class dismissed. Hey Aniki, let's go and train. Naruto said, walking out the academy with Miku following. Miku was wrapping his hand. He had been cut by an angered Sasuke during some sword practice. I think Hayate-sensei has something to show. Well, once I find him and beat it out of him. Miku cracked his knuckles. The two found Hayate and dragged him to a training field and began teaching, more like forced if anything. Once they were done, Miku and Naruto were exhausted. They had practiced their control over a blade because their swings were wide. Miku had also started practice using two swords. Man, that was somewhat annoying. Naruto rubbed his arms where Hayate hit with a wooden sword when either messed up. That reminds me, I have to create a new sword design. Might as well start tonight. Later Naruto. With that the two parted, Naruto to his apartment, Miku to his family's shop. A year and a half later. Miku was working the fires of the forge, heating up the metal. It was already taken shape but need more refinement. His father was in the back drawing a seal on the floor, Miku's sword in the center. "To-san, it's done." Miku pulled the metal out of the water before going to the back. "Now I'll explain the process. Our clan is known for its swords, and such weapons must be kept hidden. Technically speaking, you'll have two swords in one after we finish. By flooding the first sword with your chakra, you will unlock the second layer." He pointed to the gray piece in Miku's hand. "The reason you were to just get the shape was because the ritual will take care of all the small details." Miku set the new sword over his old one. "Now you will fill the seal with chakra. It will then be absorbed by the swords because of the metal you used to make them, which is a clan secret, mind you. Once complete, the complete second layer will remain. Just pull back the chakra to reform it to the first." Miku nodded. It was a simple concept to understand. He walked over to the seal and placed his hand on the ground and began channeling his chakra. The seal glowed a faint blue before growing brighter. The seal began moving closer toward the sword. It suddenly just disappeared, but a shockwave was sent out, knocking Miku over. "Damn," he grunted, picking himself up. No longer flat on the ground, a great sword was stuck in the ground blade first. The handle was black metal with yellow cord wrapping only part of it. The hilt was yellow, a 6-foot-long 7-inch wide red blade with a faint blue at the tip. The blade had no point on the end, meaning it wasn't meant for stabbing. It had two blood grooves running down the length of the blade on both sides. Miku gripped the handle and pulled. He was surprised at how light it was. "May I?" his father asked. Miku smiled, handing the blade over, only for it to be dropped. "A heavy blade, but not to you apparently. A simple safety feature, but effective. I'll call it the Dragon's Fang," Miku said, raising the blade before putting it on his back. "I figure this would be going on when I felt that pulse of chakra. Yoshio, you must be proud of your son for making such a thin weapon." "Oh, hello Tension. Yes, it is remarkable how well his skill is," Yoshio said, looking at the blade once again. "Miku-kun." Tenten poked his head into the room. "Ah, Ten-chan, good to see you." He walked over to her and noticed her eyes widen. "Is that your new sword?" she asked, trying to get it off his back. "Hi, this is the Dragon's Fang. But it's really heavy, to anyone but me anyway." Miku noticed the sad look she had. He guessed she really wanted to see it. "Come on, let's go get something to eat. Later To-san," he shouted before taking Tenten's hand and leaving the store. Tension smiled, then directed a serious look toward Yoshio. "Have you thought about it, Yoshio?" Yoshio scratched his chin. "I have. Mikuru will marry Tenten. When he's older." Yoshio sternly spoke the last part of his sentence. "Of course, when he's older. I have no plans on robbing the boy's remaining childhood years by putting him into a marriage. I'll say this, they argue like they've been married for years." Tension laughed and Yoshio couldn't help but smile. "In 6 months I'll officially announce him as the heir. I might mention the arrangement before, but I'll tell him when he's ready," Yoshio said, getting serious again. "That's fine. It's no business of mine how you run your clan." Tension turned towards the door. "Have you told him about it yet?" "No, that'll be later today. Though Bogu making his appearance now doesn't matter. Yoshio sighed. Keep it quiet though. Konoha doesn't know about the other demon it has running around. Mikaru, come here. The one known as Mikaru was behind his family's store. He was practicing with the sword he had made months ago. He had just finished a kata when his father called him. Hi San, what is it? Miku pulled the chakra out of his blade and sheathed it before stepping inside the house after his father. Yoshio smiled at his son. Tomorrow is a big day for you, graduating from the academy. Although you're younger than what was originally planned, your skills are remarkable. The last 2 years I have met with the heads of the other branches of the clan from the other villages. Miku noticed how serious his father had gotten. To say the least, it made him nervous. They have agreed to name you the heir to the Konoha branch of the Yaiba clan. Miku's eye widened. He had expected the heir part but not this soon. He should have been at least 18, then he was to take over 3 years after that. He felt his legs shake and his body began to sway. No, I will not pass out from shock. He yelled at himself. Wow, this was unexpected. I don't know what to say. Yoshio pinched the bridge of his nose. They have also agreed on your arranged marriage to Tenten. I'm sure Tenshin is telling her now. What? Was screamed. It shook the village. At this Miku did faint. Somewhere else in the village a brown-haired girl in buns was crying tears of joy. Tenshin had a smile on his face. A few hours later Miku slowly sat up. He was in his room. Oh man, that better have been a dream. I'm marrying Tenten. He thought for a moment then smiled. Now that I got over the shock it doesn't sound so bad. You're going to marry Tenten. A blonde-haired boy walked into the room. Yoshio called Naruto over after Miku fainted. Could have been worse. It could have been Pinky from class. Both boys laughed. For some reason they found it funny. Why was that funny? Guess it's just one of those things. Naruto shrugged. Hey, your dad wanted to talk to you after you got up. He's in his office. Naruto pulled Miku out of his bed. You mean my office? Miku dusted himself off after picking himself of the floor. He told his whiskered friend about being named the clan heir. What do you mean by the Konoha branch? Naruto asked, confused. Well, you see, my clan is scattered across the shinobi nations as a means to equally distribute power. This happened long ago. I'm surprised it lasted this long. Miku knocked on the office door before going in. I see Naruto came as well. That's fine. His situation is similar, so he might be able to explain some things. Yoshio pulled out a scroll from his desk. It was old, tattered, burned in some spots. He rolled it out on his desk, upside down to him so Miku can see it. The date has been lost, as you can see. I was going to do this when you completed the Dragon's Fang, but I put it off. Yoshio pointed to a faded section of the scroll. Yoshio turned to Naruto. You might be surprised that you are not the only demon container running around this village. True, Miku doesn't have a tailed beast, but that doesn't make it any less dangerous. Miku, I'm telling you this so that when the day comes when the shadow demon Bogu is revealed to you, you can fight him and try to control him. What? How? Miku now wore a look of anger. He had a demon inside him. Though he had told Naruto once that if he could he would take Kyubi. Flashback. God, why do they keep trying? Miku wiped the blood off his knuckles. Don't they know Anbu is going to step in before they can do anything? Naruto rubbed a bruise on his shoulder. It's because of that bastard fox. Goddamn fur ball. Miku looked at the bruises Naruto now had. He filled with anger. He didn't like people beating on his friends. If only I could take that fox from you. I'd rather them hate me than my friends. Naruto almost cried. He knew Miku was serious. Oh well, nothing we can do about it, Anarchy. But this makes good training for us. Miku tightened his fist, causing his palm to start bleeding. Yeah, he sighed. End flashback. Why wasn't I told sooner? He shouted. He finds out he contains a demon and he's upset that he wasn't told earlier. Yoshio thought and glanced at Naruto. Must have been because he has Naruto as a friend, otherwise this could have been much worse. Answer me, damn it. Miku pounded his fist on the desk, bringing Yoshio out of his thoughts. We wanted to make sure you were ready. Not everyone in the clan can control Bogu. Some have SD, thus having to begin the reincarnation process all over again. This time it's Konoha's turn to host Bogu, and it's usually the clan heir. So he has appeared before. Yoshio nodded. This day went from great, becoming the heir. To awesome, becoming engaged to Tenten. To really things style. True, but also know this. Yoshio waited until he had Maiku's full attention. Bogu, though cunning and manipulating, is extremely loyal. A trick to bending him to your will is to earn his respect. The sword sealing we did 6 months ago will help, but not enough. Hey Naruto, you okay? Maiku decided to get Naruto involved in all this. Hey yo buddy, you alright? Maiku weaved his hand in front of narrator's face. Huh, oh yeah? Demon Bogu, clan heir, marrying Tenten, I heard ya. Naruto smiled. Maiku, you are taking this very well. Yoshio rolled the scroll back up before putting it away. I've come to realize that it will happen if I want it to or not. Yoshio nodded. Might as well embrace it and get ready for meeting the demon. Why delay the inevitable? That means more training. The 2 containers were now sitting in a classroom. Scrolls were spread all over the place, they were reading from them. All of them containing complicated information. This could work. The one with a sword on his back. How can you understand any of this? Asked the blonde one, who began packing stuff away as the bell rang. Get those, will you? Maiku asked, not noticing Naruto had already begun cleaning. SASUKE. Screamed a bunch of girls swarming the boy. The loudest was a girl with pink hair. Damn it, can't they shut up for more than 1 second? Screamed Maiku, who drew his sword. He was angry. No anarchy. Naruto grabbed Maiku's right arm. Don't K anyone. He put emphasis on every word. Quiet down. Iruka shouted as he appeared in the room. Time for the exam. He passed out the exam. Now you have 30 minutes to finish. Everyone flipped their papers over. Maiku and Naruto smirked at how easy it was and finished in 5 minutes. Naruto slept while Maiku began sharpening his sword. Iruka collected the papers and handed them to Mizuki. Now it's time for the taijutsu evaluation. Iruka led him outside, and Mizuki stood in the middle of the ring. Naruto, you go first. He'll see the style once. Then everyone else will go before me, so he might forget his thoughts on how to defeat it while having to think of having to defend for other styles the others will use. Maiku told Naruto the plan off to the side, unintentionally gaining the attention of another blonde student. And what are you 2 doing? Ino walked over to them. But to the demon containers it was as if she came out of nowhere. Not paying attention also helped to fuel this belief. We're just strategizing. And it's a good one, Anarchy. Naruto said, elbowing Maiku. Yeah, I know I'm awesome. Maiku smiled. Ino just stared at the 2, and laughed a bit. Right, anyway, good luck. With that she walked away. Since that talk with her father she's been a lot nicer. I like it. Naruto began stretching. Maiku raised an eyebrow. Really? You like it? Maiku decided to make fun of him. If I didn't know any better. Which you don't, might I add. Saying that earned him a smack on the head. Just go kick Mazurka's ass. Naruto nodded and walked over the ring. Everyone was back in the classroom, once again waiting to be called for the jujutsu section. Maiku had already gone, and Naruto was now performing the Bushin perfectly. Well, Naruto, you pass. Congratulations. Naruto just remained silent. He grabbed his headband and walked away. Anarchy, let's go. Maiku nodded and left with Naruto. They were going Ikikaru's to celebrate their passing. A shadow stood atop the Hokage monument. So this is where it resides. It is time for me to take action. First thing first, head to the Yaiba compound. And the shadow jumped from the stone faces in the direction of the compound. All is going to plan. X. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.